everybody. So today I am going to do my NHL 2021 to 2022 predictions. Alright, so we're going to start with the Western Conference, starting with the Pacific Division. I definitely think it's a good division, but in 8th place I have the San Jose Sharks, just because I think they're not really a good team, and I just think that, I don't know, I don't really find them a good team. But yeah, I think the Sharks are just okay. I don't think they're good at all. I think their prime is pretty much done. So yeah, that's why I have the Sharks in 8th place. Moving on, we have the Anaheim Ducks, who are in 7th place. Now, I think the Ducks are just okay. I don't think they're that great. I don't think they're that bad either. But I will say that I think the reason they pull off against the Sharks and not be in 8th place is because of Gibson. Like, Gibson, I think if they have him, they'll win. But if he gets injured somehow, he'll probably finish last place. Alright, moving on to 6th place, we have the Calgary Flames. Now, the Flames are definitely, ignore that, a good team, but I think it's going to come down to the wire from teams 4 to 6 for sure. Now, I think 4 to 6 is definitely good, and I must say that I know games have already started, and yeah. But the Flames, I think, are just a good team, but I just think that they're division competitors and stuff. Ignore that again. I just think that they'll do okay. Moving on to 5th place, we have the LA Kings, who I think are going to be better than they were in previous years. I just don't think it'll start immediately, which will definitely hurt them, because I think they're just okay. You know, I think they're going to get used to some new things. So I think they'll start bad, but I definitely think they'll have the middle of the year and end of the year good. I just think they'll start a little bad. Moving on to 4th place, we actually have the Kraken, who are a new team. Now, I think the Kraken are definitely going to not make the playoffs, but I do think that they are good. And here's why. I like the players they got from the expansion draft, and they made some trades and all that sort of stuff. They didn't look great against Vegas tonight, but what are you going to do? It's their first game. Actually, the two most recent expansions, kind of a coincidence there, but yeah. That's why I think the Kraken will be in 4th place. 3rd place, I have the Edmonton Oilers. Now, before you ask, why are they in 2nd place? It should be in 2nd place. Look, the Oilers are really just McDavid, Draisaitl, and a few other okay players. But remember, this is regular season. Or that. But, like, I don't know, I think the Oilers are alright. But remember, this is regular season hockey, not postseason. They're both completely different. So number 2 in the West, Pacific, actually might be a shocker to some people, but I have the Vancouver Canucks. Now, before you ask, how are they ahead of the Oilers? Remember a couple years ago in 2019-20, they played the Golden Knights. I don't know if you remember, but they did well and were good and all that stuff. Yeah, they played actually decent, but what I think is that what happened last year is that they had so much time off and sorry if I could pause and just say random stuff, but I think they're just good in that series against Vegas. They actually outplayed them. They just lost because of a final Game 7, which could have totally been pulled off. So, yeah. And I feel like they just, I don't know. I feel like they just should have won that series, and it was close too. And they're really just a better team if you think about them. And yeah, that's the Vancouver Canucks. And finally, in first place, I had the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, I think you guys can understand this one. So we're going to move on to the Central Division. In the Central, we have the Coyotes. I don't want to talk about them. You guys can probably understand. They're really bad, is all I have to say. Number 7 is the Nashville Predators. Now, since they're in a tough division, I'm putting them low. But if they were in the Pacific, I'd probably put them in 4th. Simply just their division is hard. Like, they have teams like the Avalanche and Jets and Blues and Wild in their division. You know, all good teams. You're going to lose to some other teams like the Stars and the Jets and the Predators. I mean, not the Predators. They are the Predators. The Coyotes, the Blackhawks. You'll lose to all of these teams at some point. You may not beat all of them, but you'll lose to all of them. Maybe. We'll see how that works. But still, Predators are just a good team. But I don't think they'll pull it off in the Central Division. 6th place, we have the Blackhawks. Now, I think it's funny how they're in 6th place and they're still better than the 4th place team. Anyways, getting back on topic. Yeah, I think the Blackhawks have gotten a lot better recently. But really, besides that, I don't know. I don't think they're better than the Blues or Jets or Stars or Wild or Avalanche in that matter. So, yeah. And remember, this is only the Western Conference. I will be doing East videos and West videos. So, yeah. Alright, moving on to number 5. I have the St. Louis Blues. Ignoring the background. Okay, sorry about that. So, yeah, in 5th place, I have the Blues. I just think that the Blues are just, I don't know. They're good, but they're definitely not going to win the division. But, though, I think they'll make the playoffs and dominate the other teams that even had a chance, like the Blackhawks. They got them by 7 points. 7 points. So yeah, or my prediction has them, obviously. I don't know that for sure. Next up, we have the New York Jets. I am way into football right now. But the Winnipeg Jets. Okay, so the name is kind of similar to New York, Winnipeg. Okay, anyways, the Jets, they're better than the... Okay, I'm going to stop talking about the New York Jets. I think the Winnipeg Jets are definitely a pretty good team. I don't know how good they are, but they're definitely pretty good. But I think they're better than the Blues just by a little bit. Not much, but just a little bit. They're only down by 1 point in my predictions, so yeah. So moving on to the automatic playoff teams for their place in division. Number 3, we have the Dallas Stars, who I think the Stars are definitely going to be better this year. I will do 2 other videos doing predictions. One will obviously be the East, one will be the playoffs. Hopefully they will all come out tomorrow when I'm recording this. Hopefully you should be seeing this on, I think the 13th. So yeah, you should definitely be seeing this on the 13th. Or maybe even tonight. I'll probably post my West tonight. Okay, anyways, in my East tomorrow and my playoffs tomorrow. But yeah, the Stars, I think they're a better team than what people would think, but it's just going to be hard for them to get used to their miss last year. But they should have still made it last year. I think they almost made it. They came back, and they had to start later than all the other teams. So all of that stuff happened. I definitely think the Stars will rebound. Number 2, I have the Minnesota Wild. Now, the Minnesota Wild were a total shock last year. Like, they made it so far last year, but ended up just not being great in the playoffs. Now, obviously, they beat Vegas in a few games, but it's only because it was 3-1 and Vegas was just choking almost, too much chirping again. So you can't really do much there. And it's just, I don't know. And the Wild, though, I'll get back onto Wild. So the Wild, obviously you guys are good. I just don't know if you guys can beat the Avalanche. Who has had number one? I will say they are the President Trophy winners. Congrats, Avalanche. Best team in the league this year. Alright, I'm going to end the video there because I don't want to make it too long and having to end up had to go to 30 minutes, which I can't even do. So yeah, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and goodbye.